So here's something I haven't really told you guys. Um, I like tarot cards, the whole tarot readings and the symbology behind every card. This is how I really got into symbology because you know, a picture paints 1,000. It's worth 1,000 words. So the reason why I emphasize symbology so much, or learning, about symbols and whatever you're being offered, as communication from the divine. It could be synchronicities, it could be repeated numbers, it could be, a crow that you see, or a raven. If you see a hawk flying, or perching somewhere, it's these are symbols. These are symbols from the divine. Their communication. They're giving you a feedback. Maybe you were praying before, or maybe you were meditating, you were trying to manifest an idea, and they just literally just telling you, hey, got your message. And that's how it works. But see how it just, thinking about that symbol, that picture of got your message. I don't know if it did that to you, but to me, it just, this chuckle, this smile was involuntary. It just happened because of all of a sudden the picture of it. Got your message. Think about it. That's what you get in the message, so you don't worry. So anyway, the reason why I got so much into symbology was because a long time ago, I wanted to become what I am now. I wanted to live the life that I live now. I wanted a lot of changes, and I was basically living in a carousel, just going round and round every month, trying to struggle to make the bills and things like that. And it was just very, very hard. And till somebody said, hey, do you believe, because he pulled me aside, because he heard me express myself, and he noticed there was a lot of useless knowledge coming out of my mouth. Oh, I saw my paycheck and said, okay, let's see how much money do my creditors get. Little things like that. Oh, another day, another dollar. I started to embrace phrases like that. And he pulled me away and said, he sat me down, because he was my manager. He was like, do you believe that the mind can create anything? And right away I went back to all the symbols, all the quotes, all the phrases and words that Bruce Lee spoke and wrote about, that I had studied. And I was like, yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, what about it? So, well, there's this book, The Secret, right? And before you click away, it doesn't work if you're a crappy person. It doesn't work if all you do is just wish for things and think, okay, I'm just gonna make myself happy by watching other people, fall, or something, get hurt, and I'll laugh. I'm in high vibration, right? Because I'm laughing, I'm feeling good. It's intention. You have to think about intention. When your intention is that, oh, I'll be happy when that person dies, or something like that. No. It doesn't work that way. Again, and it took me years to find out, not by trial and error, but you could say that it was trial and error, but it was more about feeling my way through all the information, because, there's cynical people who say, oh, they would make fun of it and everything. But the moment I started to see life in another way, like there's these possibilities, because I've been there before. See, it wasn't like I always had it. I've always been the dreamer, okay? And just a little side note is like Morgan Freeman went into the Air Force because he wanted to be a pilot, but being, the times when he was young, they didn't allow black men to get into planes, so they made him into, I think, janitor or something, and he was in there. He finally got into a cockpit and was actually cleaning the cockpit of the plane, and he looked around and he's like, where's the camera? Because all he had seen was movies about planes and dogfights and stuff like that. And then it kind of dawned on me, it's like, is that why I want to be a sheriff? And a soldier and a Navy SEAL, a fireman, because I had an I wanted to get into all these fields, but I didn't really want to do the job. I just wanted to portray these things because I wanted to be an actor, you know. And now that I've been able to act as a tough guy and everything like that, I can see why there's a lot of guys who run into wanting to feel like a tough guy because, well, I already got that itch out of my way, right? I scratched it and it felt good, and I got something, I got paid from it, you know. But a lot of these dudes, you know, wearing camouflage and stuff and vests, and they're walking around with their rifles and stuff like that. That's all it is, guys, because these guys probably grew up, you know, watching Rambo movies like I did. And I mean, it's very appealing, but, you know, it's like Tyson said, you know, once the punches start, once you get hit, that's it. You know, all those plans that you had about being the hero, you know, they go away, they crumble because, well, maybe you just wanted to play a soldier. Maybe you wanted to play a tough guy. You know, you could do that in Halloween, but you don't have to take it so seriously. Or if you want to get that itch off, you know, become an actor or actually join, you know, if you're really that inclined, you know, to the life of arms. But why am I even speaking about this kind of stuff? Well, why did I even start with this? I gotta go and rewind this video to find out, but I would have to stop it, right? Well, a long time ago, like I said, I made that I made the decision to see beyond, because again, I've always been the dreamer, and I started to be like, well, I want to be this and I want to be that, and you know, I know that I can manifest this thing. But this is what happens too. So this is kind of like a warning, you know, like in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, where it's like, beware or something like that, you know, that skull and bones at the top before you go into the dark, you know, when you go before the drop. Anyway, it's kind of like that. It's when you decide to change your life, it's gonna change. I mean, like, the wheels are in motion, and this is why I'm saying that symbols are gonna help you to decipher which way, to decipher am I in the right path, you know, again, because that feedback mechanism keeps, you know, feeding you back information. You know, the divine is sending you messages, and it also happens through dreams. I mean, this is why people get up and like, what the hell was that? You know, because they're all symbols. You know, one small tip that I would give you is find out how you felt during the dream. That starts you off into looking into the situation. But again, it's deciphering these signs. Okay, I know you're probably sick of me saying symbols. So signs, omens, seals, you know, synchronicities. But anyway, I had a dream after I made that choice. A lot of things started changing. I ended up getting blessed by a shaman. And yeah, right in the middle of a farmer's market, and you know, the person that I was with was completely not into that kind of stuff, and you know, she tried to make me feel silly, but I was like, no, man, I'm getting a blessing from a shaman that I just bought a pyramid from. I mean, he's literally giving me a blessing. So yeah, I'm gonna do this, because I was committed to change, and I was like, I gotta get me some crystals and it was just appealing to me, you know, the pyramid. So that night and then subsequent nights, I had so many dreams that were showing me basically that the person I was with was not a good person, and the dream started that night. But then I had a dream where I was in this gray escape, you know, this gray scene, you know, everything looked bleak. There was this arch, you know, and there was this river that was dried, and the boats are like, you know, just leaning over because there's no water in it. And then across the way there were buildings, houses, and you know, a whole city, you know. But it felt like I was in one big, like the atrium, or like a big, like the yard, or a big garden, but everything was dead. So you get in the picture, right? Everything was lifeless. But there was this arch, and I already told you about the years later, when I stumbled onto, because I also had another dream where I looked up to the sky, and it was a night sky, And all of a sudden I saw this symbol. And then later on, years later, or maybe a couple of months later, I realized that I saw what that symbol was, and it was the zodiac, what's it called, this zodiac symbol, basically, that where it has all the zodiac signs in a big circle. That's what it was, but it was in other symbols, and you know, and it was the constellations, basically. But anyway, see, but then you find out these things later, and what I'm saying is that now when you see these things in your dreams, start finding out right away, so you don't have to wait like I did, and years later you find out that that arch was the 10 of Pentacles, but without the pentacles. You see that? I hope, there you go. You see that arch? I hope you see with the lights. I shouldn't have gotten reflective cards, but see the buildings across the way. You can't see the river because these people are standing there, but everything is wonderful in this card. Pentacles, it means money, riches, but it's more than that. It's high energy. See, it's like basically these are like particles fleeting about. This is high energy. This is money energy. This is wealth energy. But everything is great. Everything is wonderful. Everything's peaceful. The sun is shining, and the birds are chirping. Nature is smiling at you. Because you're seeing all those synchronicities. Well, that wasn't what I was dreaming. It was the opposite. Basically, it was telling me that my 10 of Pentacles wasn't there. It was basically upside down, which is the opposite. It was letting me know that the kingdom that I was trying to build was barren. It couldn't grow anything in it. And it was. And this was because a lot of the times I felt like this. What does that make you feel? These people, the door is right there. They could open it. Or the window, they could look inside and say, hey, can you please give us a... No, they just walked away from it. And this is where the money is, inside, right? Where warmth is, where peace and shelter. You feel good inside. But these people are in the snow. They can't even... One of them only has one leg. The other one is barefoot because your stability is shaken. You're not standing firm, and not in a resolute way, but in a secure way. There's a lot of insecurity here. There's a lot of we're losing again, and I wanna mention that because this is what is really literally is plaguing a lot of people these days. They just resign themselves to losing. Like I was watching this movie Beef. And what the guy always utters, both of them actually, they are uttering if you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about when they say it's always something. Think about what that symbolizes, right? What are you creating? If it's gonna give you a feedback mechanism, you're getting that back, and it's gonna be part of your history. It's gonna be part of your awareness, and then you're gonna think that is what life is, and that's what people say. Oh, life sucks. Well, then, because basically you're doing that to yourself, okay? But that's why you gotta find out what the symbols, the signs, the seals, the omens, the synchronicities mean. After all those dreams, again, I found out this later, years later, okay? So the dreams kept coming, and I was like, what was that? I had a dream where I was walking towards a castle, and there was a bridge. But I decided to cross the river, like literally get in the river, because it was dried. There was nothing. Everything was, dried, and there was rocks, and there was garbage too. That was just sitting there. Like. If you're from LA, the San Gabriel River sometimes it looks, sometimes there's garbage in it, when it's dried, garbage gets stuck there, and, you see it there, until somebody comes, usually somebody comes and picks it up and cleans it up. But anyway, it was dried, but I decided, for fun, because I remember I was also jogging, because I was jogging a lot in those days, and I was jogging in this loose, again, unstable ground. and I see this bridge, but I decide I'm gonna go down into the riverbed because it looks more fun. You know, the bridge was right there, and there was a castle right there. The castle is where I wanted to be. The castle is where everything was awesome, right? Riches, wealth, security, you know, stability. And all of a sudden, my feet get stuck in the riverbed. And I can't get them out, and I'm stuck. And then, just to make things more exciting, the water is coming. There's a torrent of water coming my way, like the river decided to just start flowing. But in this barrage, this big huge wave, you know, it was like horses of apocalyptic nature, you know, that were coming at me. There was all these like boulders being rolled, but there were like grocery carts being rolled around because of the force. I saw a stove, I saw a refrigerator that was just being trampled, you know, just pushed, you know, like there were nothing. And all of this was coming my way, and I'm still stuck. And all I have behind me is the bridge base, basically one of these columns, you know, below. And the bridge is above me, but I'm right up against it. And I learned this in Mexico, that when you're up against the wall, you gotta fight. You can't retreat anymore. You gotta fight. So when I saw that mess coming my way, I said, bring it. And I stood firm, and I just braced for impact, and I woke up. Well, that was the beginning of my journey, because all that crap that was coming did come my way, and it tested me, and it hit me, and it hurt me, and it almost destroyed me. Here's what I saw. See the bridge, see the castle, see the river. I spent a lot of time during this last few years like this, crying for spilled milk. And there were 2 cups right here behind me. Like there were opportunities waiting for me, but I was too heartbroken because of everything that I was losing. Everything changed after that blessing from the shaman. After I decided that I wanted to make something out of myself, something more, because I was already working on many things. I've always been the dreamer. I've always been achieving, but I wanted to achieve this. And when you ask for change, things are gonna change. And that's what the dreams were telling me, and that's what I saw. And again, like I said, years later, I found these things. I mean, think about my dream. That's the reaction I got. That's what I saw in my dream. Who was sending me that information, if not the divine? And it was sending it to me with symbols. Not only that, it was directing me to tarot, when I had no idea what tarot was. Again, I found out what these puppies were years later. And then when I realized, wait a second, these symbols were in my dreams. That means life was speaking to me. And it was when it was telling me that it was gonna get hard. It was like a parent saying, jump in the water and I'll catch you. The Fool card. That's the spirit that I had in the beginning. And then I said, I want to jump. See, he looks like he's jumping off the cliff. And the little doggy is right here. That's literally, if you look at this, you see the doggy right here. You see the fool trying to jump off, you know. He's taking another step. He's going. He's like, woo, screw it. We're doing it. We're going for it. Again, your Father in heaven is literally always asking you, you want this? Jump. I'll catch you. Make the choice. Go for it. He'll catch you. or it will catch you. She'll catch you. This big force, this benign energy that runs everything, including your existence, will help you, that will catch you, will lead you there. But it won't be easy, because if you want change, things will change and you feel like you're being uprooted. I was literally telling people, I feel like I'm being pressed down into a strainer. So only what I'm meant to keep comes out on the other side. That's how hard the impact was. That's how hard these last few years were. But I knew then, and I know now, that the reason is because I was going to come out of there a better person, more knowledgeable, more wise, and more being able to help those who are in the same position that I was. So I know that you probably heard that these things are evil or something like that. Think about all the people who told you these things. Were they happy? Did they achieve what they wanted? No. This is just, again, useless information that just travels from ear to ear and does nothing but limit people. And all of a sudden it becomes seeded into your system, and it becomes this huge oak tree that you can't even see around, because now it's what your only awareness. You see what I'm saying? Like these limitations are what's stopping us, because these limitations tell you, don't jump, because what if he doesn't catch you? The force that keeps your breathing happening, the force that keeps your heart beating, the force that keeps your blood running. See, I can go like this. I think you could probably see it. I don't know if you can see it. My pulse. You can see the blood traveling. I don't know if you can see it. When you get to see that, and like, I didn't have to do anything for it. I didn't have to press a button or crank something to get it going, plug it in. No, it just runs. Once you exhale, do you have to worry about the next breath coming in? Once a wave leaves the beach, do you worry that another one might not come in? Whenever you ask for help, it'll arrive. But having faith will put you in that ready and flexible state that it's like, okay, whatever it is, I'm ready. Instead of like, well, no, because again, it's that five of Pentacles that I showed you earlier, where the opportunity is there, but they just like, no, we're always losing, so no, we might lose again. Take the jump. God will catch you. Again, not a dude in the sky, a force. A force that is in everything, is in you, is in every cell, is in the air around you, is the feedback mechanism, is the synchronicities, is the signs, is the symbols, is the knowledge of those symbols, is the wisdom that those symbols bring you. I'm going really long on this one, so I'm gonna have to split this on TikTok, and then this is gonna be, I think, in its fullness on YouTube. But this needed to be told, because this is why I do what I do, because I asked for this change, and I love this change. I love being able to speak about this too, because I've been speaking like this for ages. I mean, not ages, but I mean, what I mean is that for years, and the people that I was with, the environment that I was uprooted from, or taken away, or rescued from, or extracted from. Think about the Navy SEALs, coming in, hey, go. It's kind of like that. It was kind of like that. They retrieved me from being in the company of these people, because they were limiting my progress. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew that they would have to be changed. A lot of these changes were happening, and these people could not, sorry, not the cards. These people could not stand my changes. These people could not understand why I was so, focused on what I wanted to achieve, because that's who I was. See, it wasn't like I just want this thing. It was just like, this is who I am, and I'm gonna express myself the way I am meant to express myself, and not front or pretend. I always feel yucky when when that comes into play, because it's like, what do you got to stain the picture with bad energy, right? So, but when you are honest, and when you honestly express yourself, honestly, not lying to to oneself, honestly, that, my friend, is very hard to do. But that's the idea. That's the idea. Again, I love Bruce Lee because he started me in the path to wisdom, I guess, or freedom, if you will. It's understanding that you can be plagued by limitations, and these limitations are literally self-imposed, because at one point we decide, well, I'm going to use that as my philosophy for life. So if you decided to attach yourself to a philosophy that's not working for you, you can always detach from it and embrace something that works for you. I mean, YOLO. What is it? YOLO? Is that what it means? You only get one life or something like that? You only live once? Well, no, not necessarily you only live once, but it's life, this lifetime, there'll be more. But don't you want to learn and expand as far as you can in this one? I mean, maybe you won't even need the next one, right? You can achieve nirvana here in this one. But the idea here is that the divine path is one of peace, is one of delicate flow. It is not of hardship, it is not of hardness, it is not of hate, it is not of tension, it is not of worry. It is none of those things. It's not pain, it's not suffering, it's not guilt, it's not none of that. It's delicate flow, this soft river that just takes you, and you just have to be brave enough. And that means having faith. You have to be fearless. That doesn't mean reckless, meaning that there's no fear in you because you trust in the flow, and you're letting that flow take you. That's all it means. But see, that is being brave. That is being courageous. But that is not being forceful. Like the strength card. You see, it's a lady who is actually he's having the lion is just like, oh, please give me some more loves. That is power, because power comes from the divinity. It's not force. He's not trying to beat the lion. Just being sweet is enough. Reclining in your feminine energy. Soft flow. Not hard. Not tumultuous. Not conflictive. No. Total cooperation, because she is fearless, because she's brave, because she's courageous, because she's leaning into her feminine energy. She has faith. Faith is strength. It's a superpower. That is power, because power comes from divinity. Force doesn't come from the divine. That's something we do to make things happen. But you'll achieve more with power. Think about it and feel about it.